Hey, what's going on out there, YouTube? This is SEL0320 representing JVS. I'm back here again for another review, TV show review for One Man Punch. This is going to be on episodes 5 and 6. The Ultimate Mentor for episode 5, and then episode 6 is The Terrifying City. So what did I think about the first one, which is the Ultimate Mentor, episode 5? I'm going to give you a brief synopsis of it first. So Saitama and Genos find out about the hero registration and both took the test to certify. Genos got special S class and Saitama got something else. Meanwhile, Genos becomes a disciple of Saitama and learned about the power of Saitama's punch in a training session. So I actually really liked this episode. I thought it was hilarious, but from a visual standpoint and an action standpoint, this showcased like Saitama's real power in a certain kind of way. Because I mean, when they got to the training and these guys are just kind of looking at him and goofing off around him, as soon as he took off within the first like mad dash going back and forth, like these dudes were slowly looking like, oh my gosh, like he jumped so high he just stuck in the ceiling. And even like when they was doing certain like tests, I was like, why is whack-a-mole one of these training sessions? But one of the guys made one of the funniest things. He was like, I think I want to go home. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, I really feel like they're not going to give him his due. But I didn't know how it was going to be. When Genos came back with his test results of being S, which was basically perfect test scores and perfect class of hero, I was thinking Saitama's not gonna get that. And sure enough, how it ended up, it was so funny. But you have to watch it to see, because I don't want to spoil that part about it. But I think everything that's going on in the backfold as far as the Heroes Association, they're all trying to assess who they want to take care of what, and that'll go more on into the next episode. I'm about to talk about the Terrifying City, but you find out that certain people have a certain amount of agenda towards Genos. Specifically this A-class guy that kind of questions them. I thought that that was really intriguing dialogue. It leaves a lot of mystery about the character progression, specifically Genos, because one thing that happens, which is probably one of the best things in this series, is that Genos and Saitama actually go at it and spar. And the sparring session is so epic that I was like, my jaw literally dropped. Like, I was so excited to actually watch this, because to be fair, like Saitama, and I was even talking to Joe about, because Joe's caught up now with the same amount of episodes as me, is the fact that Saitama had even said to Genos, like, you can surpass me. And I kept on going in my head, is like, can Genos actually get better progressively through augmentation, through parts and stuff like that? Like, he even said like the training and all this kind of measurement stuff doesn't mean anything, and it's true. And so, but I was sitting there watching this bout, and I was like this is the first time I see Saitama like, wow, this is really cool. So I just love that part about it, and that actually pushed the envelope for me as far as this episode. I gave this episode actually a 9.5 out of 10. I really liked that sequence of them training, as well as just the comedic elements of everything that was kind of happening. Even like the end, it was kind of like this cut-off end that I was like, they're gonna part ways like that. And then this is my segue into the next episode, is at the end of the episode, and like I said, you have to make sure you stay after the credits. Like, all of a sudden, Genos goes there with this big old book sack, and he was like, I want to stay with you. I want to train underneath your roof. And Saitama was like, absolutely not. And then all of a sudden, you see this stack of money just hit, and Saitama was just like, you got your toothbrush? He's like, absolutely. And I was like, this is hilarious. So the next episode name is The Terrifying City. This is the synapsis for that. To remain a hero list, Saitama has to show some activity in every week. Currently, City Z is defined as the ghost town. Heroes are gathered together to find out what's going on. I don't know if I like this episode as much, only because I felt like the Heroes Association, all the resources that they have, have not been able to assess that all these monsters that have been centered around Saitoma's apartment, they've just been miraculously killed by nothing. Like, I thought that was kind of unbelievable, that they wouldn't recognize, like, what he's kind of done. At the same time, it adds a different comedic element to it, but, I mean, the reason why it's a ghost town is because he's eliminated all the monsters that are in the vicinity. And, there's a couple things that happen in this episode, like, Saitama and Genos was having this conversation, and Genos was like, I need to be able to train, get better, and, like, Saitama's in his head like, man, I don't know what to tell this dude, you know, and then he convinced him of something just foolish, and then he went out on his way to try to find, like, some kind of petty crime, because he can't just go and fight like a monster. He has to go and take care of a robbery or something normal, and this dude is speeding around the city. He couldn't find anything, and it was really funny until the Sonic Ninja shows up and, like, tries to get buck with him. And one of the coolest things I've seen him do, and matter of fact, I think I haven't seen anything cool like that since Goku literally took out his finger and blocked Trunks' Z-Sword. The dude swung at his face and he caught it with his teeth and broke it. And I was like, that's G status. And it's crazy because what happens is the guy, like, pursues him and he wants to basically get into a bout again. And he's like, I'm ready. And obviously, after my sword got broken, I wouldn't have tried him, you know. But he tried to cause all these different issues. And matter of fact, it was an A-class guy. He just, you know, wrecked. And he basically, to me, he was showing like he was that's a villain would do, you know. And I was like, the Heroes Association didn't find any value in that, or they didn't even recognize it or bring it up. And I find that really strange, you know. Even when they were talking about the last episode, in episode 5, when they were going over his test results, that his unparalleled amount of strength, I was like, that's not a red flag to y'all. I just find that really strange. And then there's this new creature that comes out, this kind of like seaweed tentacle kind of monster, and like these A-class guys try to go at it, and it's really interesting how it goes from there to Saitama getting involved, and he just does something. It's just hilarious how it all ends. But a lot of what was going on was kind of foreshadowed because they entered in a female that I don't know her name yet, but it seems as though she's a telepath and she has the ability of being able to manipulate objects around her. I'm really interested to see when she comes in contact with Saitama, if she ever will. I feel like the Heroes Association are just never going to really recognize who and what this guy is. That's the only thing that I feel like I'm worried about. But I feel like there's going to be a threat that's big enough that, you know, Saitama is going to have to showcase his full power and his full potential, because he will feel that he will be a fulfilled hero if they do it that way. And he hasn't gotten that real challenge yet. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen next. I didn't like this episode as much. I give it an 8 out of 10. I think it could have been, I mean, the only problem that I really had was really just the Heroes Association and their lack of understanding of all the things that Saitama has done that nobody really knows, you know. I just find that unbelievable, you know. Even though this is an unbelievable scope show, I mean, just come on now. It doesn't make sense. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed our reviews for episode 5 and 6 of One Punch Man. And I'm about to go check out episode 7 real quick. And maybe me and Joe will do episode 7 and 8 together as far as a review. Keep it locked, JBS. Y'all stay easy. Peace.